This morning, a Sydney schoolboy refused bail on terror charges as the Prime Minister outlines a plan to lock up terrorists indefinitely. Random murder, a man stabbed to death by a stranger on a city street. And a mother and daughter finally laid to rest 7 years after they were killed.
This is 7 News Morning Edition with Kylie Gillies.
Good morning. In breaking news, a schoolboy charged over an alleged terror plot targeting Australian Federal Police has been denied bail. He appeared in court in Sydney this morning after he and a 20-year-old man were arrested in dawn raids yesterday. Live now to Alex Hart outside Parramatta Court. Hello, Alex. What did the magistrate say? In Parramatta, Alex Hart, thank you. Jailed terrorists could be kept locked up after they've completed their sentences if they remain a danger to the community under a tough new security regime backed by the Prime Minister. For details, let's go live to Amelia Brace at Parliament House. Amelia, Malcolm Turnbull's urging the states to back this measure. Thanks, Amelia. Amelia Brace there in Canberra. Well, a man has been charged with murder after stabbing a stranger to death at a Sydney bus stop last night. Witnesses say if not for the bravery of local residents, more people could have been killed. Robert Avadia has the details. The son of former Adelaide Crows coach Phil Walsh has pleaded not guilty to murdering his father. Cy Walsh appeared in the Adelaide court today via video link from a mental health facility. The 26-year-old pleaded not guilty by reason of mental incompetence. Phil Walsh died from multiple stab wounds at his home in Somerton Park in July. His son will appear in the Supreme Court in February next year. Kate Blanchett's award season is off to a stellar start with the Australian actress receiving a coveted Golden Globe nomination. Ben Mendelsohn and director George Miller will also be competing against Hollywood's best for a Golden Trophy. Next in 7 News, how the world's first IVF puppies could help humans. Star Wars comes to the Opera House. Also, up in flames, a suspicious blaze destroys a family home. Police are investigating a fire which destroyed a house in Sydney's south. The blaze broke out at the property in Kogarah Bay after 1 a.m. today. Witnesses reported hearing an explosion. By the time firefighters arrived, the house was engulfed in flames. Neighbours were evacuated from nearby properties. Nobody was inside the premises and no one was injured. Detectives are asking anyone with information to call Crime Stoppers. Madonna has given an impromptu performance on the streets of Paris in tribute to the victims of the city's terror attacks. Hugging her 10-year-old son David and accompanied by a lone guitarist, the superstar covered John Lennon's Imagine before a moving rendition of her own Like a Prayer. The 57-year-old is in Paris as part of a world tour promoting her latest album. Time to check the financial markets. The ASX is trading slightly higher ahead of next week's US interest rate decision. The Australian dollar is buying 72 US cents, 88 Japanese yen and $1.07 New Zealand. Next in 7 News, more records tumble in Hobart as the Aussies batter the woeful Windies, and Mick Fanning off to an impressive start at the Pipe Masters as his world title rivals falter. Australia continues to pummel the West Indies bowling attack early on day 2 of the first test in Hobart. With the threat of more fan boycotts over for now, the focus will be back on the pitch when round 10 of the A-League begins tonight. Sydney FC has lost captain Alex Brosk to a hamstring injury, and Brisbane Roar has taken tomorrow's clash against Wellington to Cairns because Suncorp Stadium is being re-turfed. Mick Fanning's quest to clinch his 4th world surfing title is off to the perfect start. He's safely through to round 3 of the championship deciding Pipe Masters after a narrow win in his opening heat. Fanning is shattered for good mate Owen Wright, who had to withdraw with head injuries suffered in a heavy wipeout. Next in 7's Morning News, the national weather forecast with Tony Auden. Let's check the weather forecast now with Tony Auden. How's it looking, Tony?
Oh, good morning, Kylie. Well, there's quite a contrast across the nation today, from temperatures nudging the mid-40s in northern states to snow expected down in Tasmania. Now, the heat and storms will focus mainly north of a trough over central Australia, while a cold front is set to bring some showers, the odd storm, and that snow down to 700 metres in the Apple Isle. It'll then continue along the New South Wales coast later today as a gusty cool change. Now, gazing around the nation now, in Hobart, that front has just pushed through, bringing cooler southwest winds, currently 15 degrees, and showers are set to pick up during the day. In Melbourne, the front has also just moved through, with a few showers building in behind it. At the moment, 17 degrees, but feels more like 13. In Sydney, a different story. It's heating up, currently 30 degrees on the way to a top of 35. That's 10 above average. The cooler change is due at around 8 p.m. and should bring some strong gusts to coastal suburbs. Moving on to Brisbane now, on the back of severe storms yesterday. It's even hotter today, a forecast top of 34 in the city, before more severe storms are possible this afternoon. Now, moving on to tomorrow's forecast, the cooler change should reach Brisbane by late morning. Some patchy rain and a cooler top of 28 degrees there. Also remaining fairly cool in southeastern states, 16 the top in Hobart and 19 in Melbourne. And moving on to Sunday's forecast, storms continuing in the north, 35 degrees in Darwin, and Adelaide should also heat up to 30 degrees, a milder top of 25 in Perth. That's the latest weather. More details in the Daily Edition. Kylie?
Thanks, Tony. That's 7 News to Now. I'm Kylie Gillies. Thanks for your company.